If you crack first, Dave, it won't make you any less of a man.
I'm nowhere near cracking.
Neither am I, my friend.
Dave. And Matthew, what is it now? For God's sake, no one's smoking, okay? But nothing! You know what we need around here is an anti-whining ordinance. So just sip your sniveling little lip and haul your skinny ass out of here!
Welcome back to Think It Critical. This is Wes. Stop me if you've heard this before. We've got an upcoming Batman crossover event coming in March, right on the heels of what do we got? We got Shadows of the Bat that's going to be starting here very soon. We just had the Prelude and Detective Comics Annual. Before that, we had Fear State. That was the big Batman event. And this one is a little bit different. Don't get me wrong. This one is a little bit more low-key, little smaller scale. It's going to be a crossover between Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke Inc. And the DC fans out there will recognize immediately there is one commonality between all three of those titles, and that is Joshua Williamson, the writer. I have a feeling, this is just a feeling, that this wasn't actually supposed to include Batman. I think Joshua Williamson was probably just going to do a Robin Deathstroke Inc. crossover. But James Tynion abruptly left at the end of Fear State to go to Substack. Joshua Williamson got a temporary gig on Batman. They've made it a monthly book because they are going to be having a weekly Shadows of the Bat event over in Detective Comics. And I think the replacement for Joshua Williamson, if there is a replacement, isn't ready yet. And I do expect that there will be one. And he's included Batman in the crossover event. At least it's the way I'm taking it. That's not all. We literally just had a Robin versus Deathstroke crossover before Future State as well with was it Teen Titans versus in the Deathstroke comic book, right? I don't know, whatever. Hey, this stuff seems to happen a lot. I'm not a little bit more. I'm a lot more bullish on this one because I do think Joshua Williamson is a very competent writer. I think he might be a little bit overtaxed at the moment doing Batman, Robin, Deathstroke Inc., Justice League Incarnate. I'm sure he's got another couple more out there that he's doing, and he's kind of leading up, supposedly, or it appears to a big crisis event in 2022. But I do have confidence in Joshua Williamson that he'll be able to make this work. I've quite enjoyed his Robin series. I like the idea behind his Deathstroke Inc. and what's going on. I didn't think they were going to destroy trust so soon. It does appear, leading up to this, that Deathstroke will become a king and he'll have an army. And I guess that will be the precursor for this big event. So here's the details that we do have. Batman, Robin, Deathstroke Inc. will be crossing over in March for the Shadow War Alpha number 1 special on Tuesday, March 29th. And the publisher, tell me if you've heard this one before, is promising Williamson's epic will have major ramifications for the DC Comics universe. Man, I wonder what those major ramifications could be. They promise this every time, but I'll be honest, I don't feel like they deliver all that often. And the fact that we're leading into a crisis event, maybe they'll just let him go ham, do whatever the hell he wants until the crisis happens, and maybe they get whoever's going to be the regular Batman writer. I have a feeling, just a feeling, a hunch that perhaps Tom Taylor will be the new Batman writer. They just did lock him in as an exclusive creator. They kind of got rid of all their exclusives. That blew up in their faces. the old Batman writer pops smoke and heads the fuck out. So that was not a smart move. So they are locking down some creators. I wonder if the first creator they really locked down that we know of, since they got rid of all their exclusives, might be the future Batman writer. I hope not, but that could be the case. This is the bad news, at least about Shadow War Alpha. And I do think this is a harbinger of things to come. This will be written by Williamson. It's going to be 48 pages. And check out this cover price. That's $7. 7 big ones, baby. $7. My goodness. That's even more than all those annual issues that they just did. But they did bring in a top-tier artist. It'll be Victor Bogdanovich, who's obviously been working on Detective Comics lately. Great artist, a writer I like. Am I down for the cause? I've been loving Robin. I've been enjoying Deathstroke Inc. And I thought the last issue of Batman, or Batman 118 that came out this week, was pretty darn good. So I'm optimistic about this. I'm not optimistic about that $7 cover price. Are you kidding me, DC Comics? $7 just for a fucking comic book. My goodness. And this is the synopsis that we do have for Shadow War Alpha #1, the $7 phenomenal comic book. When Slade Wilson commits his latest unthinkable act, Talia al Ghul and the League of Shadows are out to end Deathstroke and Deathstroke Inc. for good. Only Batman and Robin can track down Slade down. I wonder if that's a typo by Newsarama or by the DC Comics team. They should have their editorial look at that one, huh? Track down Slade down and bring him to justice before Talia gets his hands on it. But this should be, I don't, with all the gendering stuff, I don't know. Maybe they meant to say Talia gets his hands on. We got some typos here, folks. That's not a good start. But that's the information that we do have for Shadow War Alpha #1, the $7 comic book. Jesus, DC Comics are really, I don't know, is fisting the right term for this one? I'm not really sure. But there's more. There's going to be a little bit of homework for those that are interested in the Shadow War event. Which, why would you have an event called Shadows of the Bat and then another event like 2 days later called Shadow War? Can we find another descriptor that's not the word shadow? You know what I mean? No? All right. Maybe that one's just me. So if you're interested in this, there are going to be a couple of preludes to this that are coming out in the Joshua Williamson comic books. One in Deathstroke Inc., the other in Robin. And on March 22nd, both of these will come out. Robin #12 will feature artist Roger Cruz, who we just saw in the Robin Annual. Thought he did a great job. And will also feature a Damian Wayne finally returning to Gotham City after the end of the Lazarus tournament. A changed man, but according to DC, have on one more opponent. Jesus, there's a lot of typos in this. On more opponent to battle to the death, Damian Wayne. So he's going to be fighting himself. Okay. Very interesting stuff. I'm a little bit disappointed by this news in particular because I was really excited for the follow-on to the Lazarus tournament where we were going to see Damian Wayne, we were going to see Flatline, Ravager, Respawn, and Connor Hawk. That was like the story that I've really been looking for. I was hoping they'd get like 6 months to 12 months together. That apparently is not the case. They're going to get maybe 2 or 3. So that is a bit of a disappointment. But the art by Roger Cruz was really good in the annual, so they've got a good artist there. I think that'll be fun. We shall see. And it sounds like Bruce Wayne, Batman, will be returning to Gotham City not too long after leaving for this. What is he doing? He's doing the Batman Inc. thing. So I guess the other Batman, the Jace Fox Batman, will be in New York City alone. The other title that you're going to need to be reading is Deathstroke Inc. #7. This has art by Steven Segovia, one of my favorite artists. I'm heartbroken that he's no longer the full-time artist on Hellions because that series does not exist anymore after this week. And this one guest stars Slade Wilson's daughter, Rose Wilson, a.k.a. Ravager, one of the cast members of Robin, in a father-daughter face-off. Rose wants to know why her old man has proclaimed himself the king of the supervillains. And the mysterious Respawn, also from the Robin series, comes along for the ride to find out. And DC is promising this issue is where past secrets are exposed, leading to a cliffhanger, leading directly into Shadow War. So those are your required readings to get into the Shadow War event. I'm interested in Respawn. There's a lot of mystery about that character. Clearly, that character is associated with Deathstroke. I've heard some speculations out there that maybe this is actually Jericho, a new version of Jericho. Not really sure about that. They certainly, in the Robin Annual, hinted that Rose Wilson had some settles to score, possibly with a brother. Not really sure on that one. So that is the information that we do have. Oh my goodness, I've got my own typos now that DC Comics has got me all flummoxed with all these damn typos in the press release. Me personally, I'm not overwhelmingly excited about this because I think there's been enough Batman crossover events. And we've recently had a Robin versus Deathstroke crossover event. Whatever. I like Joshua Williamson. I like Steven Segovia. I like Roger Cruz. I like Victor Bogdanovich. So they've got a lot of the creators that I like with the characters that I like. I don't know why Batman needs to be in there, but I have a hunch that Joshua Williamson is shoehorning the Batman in here because they have no plans for the character, or the plans that they do have are not ready to roll out. So they needed to do something with him. And he said, hey, listen, I got Shadow War going on. That's going to have Robin. It's going to have Deathstroke. Maybe I could just throw Batman in there. No one will notice. I'm glad this is scaled down. I'm glad it's not a big crossover of all the damn Batman books. There's been enough of that to kill the momentum of enough of the titles out there. After reading the prelude to Shadows of the Bat and Detective Comics Annual, I am not very optimistic on that one, but I'm certainly much more optimistic on this one. We got good creators, we got good characters, we got good artists. So, damn, $7. My goodness. For the 48-page Shadow War Alpha comic. DC Comics are literally going to shove it right up your ass with their comic book prices coming up. My good, whatever. That's the news. That's the big event. Shocking. They're going to do another Batman event that includes the Dark Knight in the main series. Shocking, not shocking. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.